The second season of The Golden Bachelor started off with a storm of controversy, but somehow, against all odds, it ended with a storybook fairy tale. Former NFL player Mel Owens stepped into the spotlight hoping to prove that love can still bloom later in life. But before he even handed out his first rose, he was already facing backlash. His comments about women's ages had people talking, and not in a good way. What was meant to be a celebration of second chances and mature romance suddenly turned into a PR nightmare. Mel's offhand remark about dating women between 45 and 60 sent shockwaves through Bachelor Nation. Fans weren't shy about reminding him that The Golden Bachelor wasn't supposed to be about dating younger. It was supposed to be about celebrating the beauty and passion of life after 60. But as the cameras rolled in the weeks past, something unexpected began to happen. The rough edges started to soften. The gruff ex-football star began showing his heart, revealing a man who was maybe a little lost, but still longing for love. 23 incredible women joined him on that journey, aged 58 to 77, each with her own story, her own scars, and her own sparkle. They weren't here to play games. They were here because they'd lived enough life to know what real love feels like, and what it doesn't. As the weeks went on, one by one, the women were sent home. Laughter, tears, and heartfelt moments filling the mansion. But soon, only two remained, Cindy Cullors and Peg Munson. Both strong, smart, and stunning in their own ways, but completely different personalities. Cindy, with her warmth and steadiness, someone who made Mel feel grounded. And Peg, fiery, witty, and fiercely independent. The kind of woman who keeps a man on his toes. It all came down to those final moments, and that's when Peg did something that shocked everyone. During one of their last romantic dates, she looked Mel straight in the eye and said something few contestants have ever dared to say in Bachelor history. "If you choose me, and if we end up getting married, I want a prenup." You could almost hear the collective gasp from Bachelor Nation. A prenup? On The Golden Bachelor? But Peg wasn't joking. She's a retired firefighter from Las Vegas, Nevada. She's fought literal flames in her life, and she wasn't afraid to spark a few metaphorical ones on camera either. She wanted to make it clear. Love is love, but money, security, and independence still matter. Especially when you've lived enough life to know that happily ever after sometimes comes with fine print. Her bold request didn't come out of nowhere. Bachelor fans remember the drama from last season when the original Golden Bachelor couple, Jerry Turner and Teresa Nist, tied the knot in January only to divorce 3 months later. Their whirlwind romance became a cautionary tale, and Peg wasn't about to repeat history. While some viewers criticized her for being too blunt, others admired her honesty. She wasn't being cynical. She was being realistic, because at this stage of life, romance isn't about fantasy. It's about trust, respect, and making sure both hearts and lives stay protected. Meanwhile, Mel was still torn between his two finalists. He adored Cindy, her kindness, her stability, her sweet humor. She reminded him of calm mornings and quiet dinners, the kind of love that grows deeper every day. But Peg lit a different kind of fire in him, one that made him laugh, argue, and feel alive in ways he hadn't in years. During their final conversations, Mel admitted he was conflicted. He said, "I love spending time with you, Cindy. I love being with you. You're sharing, caring, smart, but it's a difficult situation. I am torn between you and Peg." For fans, this was classic Bachelor drama, the kind that keeps everyone guessing until the very last rose. But what made this season different was the emotion. These weren't 20-somethings falling for the idea of love. These were people who lived full lives, who knew heartbreak, loss, and joy, and were brave enough to try again. Behind the scenes, producers were nervous. The season had started rocky, and no one was sure if Mel could redeem himself after his early controversy. But according to sources close to production, everything changed near the end. They said Mel really did allow himself to be vulnerable to the process, and because of that, he had what they called a storybook ending. Apparently, Mel's final choice brought everyone, even the producers, to tears. It's said that after weeks of internal struggle, long talks, and quiet reflection, Mel finally followed his heart and found someone who could meet him halfway. Someone who didn't just see him as the golden bachelor, but as Mel, a man still learning, still growing, still ready for love. When that final rose was handed out, there was no drama, no shouting, no awkward hesitation. Just two people looking at each other. Two souls who knew what they wanted. Insiders say that Mel is now happily engaged and already planning a wedding. After everything, after the backlash, the doubts, and the tension, he got his second chance. And the best part? The executives couldn't be happier. What started as a PR disaster ended up a redemption story, one filled with laughter, humility, and hope. They called it a storybook ending to a very difficult season. Mel Owens, the man who once made headlines for the wrong reasons, now has fans cheering for him. Maybe it's because people love a comeback story, or maybe it's because everyone, no matter their age, wants to believe that love can heal even the biggest missteps. The journey of Mel Owens on The Golden Bachelor is a reminder that vulnerability doesn't have an expiration date, that you can mess up, own it, and still open your heart again. And for Peg, whether or not she ends up with the final rose, she made history in her own way. She spoke her truth, stood her ground, and reminded everyone watching that self-worth doesn't retire when you do. At the end of the day, it wasn't just about who Mel chose. It was about rediscovering what love looks like when the cameras stop rolling, and realizing that sometimes the real prize isn't fame or flowers, it's finding someone who truly sees you. This finale might just go down as one of the most touching in the franchise's history. With all its ups and downs, its laughter and tears, The Golden Bachelor Season 2 gave us something real. Proof that even after heartbreak, even after controversy, love can still find its way back home. So when Mel Owens finally looked into the eyes of his chosen one, it wasn't just a TV moment, it was redemption, it was hope, and it was a love story written not in youth, but in wisdom, one golden heart at a time. And as viewers tune in to see how it all unfolds, one thing is certain: age doesn't limit passion, it refines it. So maybe, just maybe, Mel's Golden Bachelor storybook ending isn't just his. It's a reminder for everyone watching that it's never too late to fall in love again.